Well, Matt, undeniably the cool spot to be at today, the coast. Much cooler today than yesterday.
Yeah, for sure. And this is typically how our heat waves end. Even when they end slowly like this one, we see the cooling at the coast first, then eventually it seeps inland, and that'll be the case as we go into really Thursday night when we get that cooler air. But this is what it looked like at sunset tonight at the Oregon coast. It was a really beautiful day there at Cannon Beach. Some very low fog. That was it, just really hugging the sand. Sun going down behind the big rock, and a little bit of smoke out that way too, but not as much as what we've had in the valleys. And then this, of course, also from the coast, Jim and Karen Young sending in this picture of Tillamook Rock sunset, and of course the green flash, which Jim is so great at capturing those coastal sunsets. We hit 103 today. Yes, that's a record. The morning low was 73, also a record. So we started the day with a record warm low, ended the day with a record warm high. Hot spot in the state was the Dalles at 107. Triple digits, clear up and down I-5, even up into Olympia, 100 degrees in western Washington. Pretty amazing. There was rain in parts of Oregon today, though not very much, but a little bit. Here's Deschutes County. Here are the fires. That's the Lookout Fire. That's the Bedrock Fire. And look, we actually had some showers go over the Bedrock Fire. I'll loop this one more time. Yes, we had lightning, but there you go. A little bit of rain right there. Not enough to put it out, but I'm sure the firefighters were grateful for the cloud cover and a few sprinkles here and there. Thunderstorms again tomorrow over southeastern Oregon. Not every spot on the map will get it, but they will be scattered across that region as the upper level storm system off the coast of California continues to spin moisture, monsoon moisture really, up our way. Now, we've had this area of high pressure over us with this really warm air, but eventually storm systems in BC are going to drop on down the coast. They're not doing that now. They're still well on up to the north. So we're sandwiched between cooler air to the south, cooler air to the north, and really hot air in the middle. Hey, I want to check in on the tropics here because a couple things going on there. First of all, Hurricane Greg will harmlessly move south of the islands, will not create the strong winds that the last hurricane that took that path did, that helped spawn the fires in Maui. This is Fernanda quickly falling apart, may provide rain to the islands in a few days. And then down here, this disorganized cloud band, that is likely going to become organized and eventually become a tropical system, which would be named Hillary. Now watch the path of this. This is Saturday. It's up near Cabo San Lucas, likely as a hurricane or at least a tropical storm. But then watch what it does. It hugs the coast, moves north, and is off of Los Angeles and San Diego early next week. If this verifies like this, that'll be super interesting, especially if it's still a tropical storm, because we hardly ever see these tropical systems off of Mexico maintain themselves in their identity as they move north. And look at the rain that it spreads as far north as Salt Lake City, probably not into Oregon, although maybe to the south. So we'll keep our eye on that. That'll be a really interesting development if it happens. And in fact, the 10-day forecast for rainfall showing above normal rainfall for the western U.S., largely because of that tropical system and the monsoon. So again, there is hope for some rain in the long range. In the meantime, the hot weather will finally begin to break down a little more tomorrow. Then the cooler air rushes inland Thursday evening, and by Friday, we will be topping out in the 80s and have a very pleasant weekend. And that should be the end of the super hot weather, at least for a while, and maybe for the whole summer. 86 right now, though, freezing level up at 16,200 feet. On the Oregon coast, morning fog and then partly sunny. It's going to get windy in the afternoon, too, and highs in the 70s and 60s. Nice. For the valleys, not as nice. Low 100s yet again. Overnight lows in the 60s. Not as hot as today, but still pretty hot. Up in the Cascades, 82 at Timberline, 90 at Government Camp. They only dropped to 75 this morning. I believe that's an all-time record warm overnight low temperature for Government Camp for any day, any month of the year. Thunderstorms southern parts of eastern Oregon again in the gorge. West winds tomorrow, not too strong, but they're really going to pick up on Thursday. The wind will be back. Very warm overnight, hot and hazy tomorrow. Portland with a high of 100. We go 95 on Thursday as things get more reasonable and then more comfortable for Friday and beyond with highs in the 80s and more sunshine.
At least we're headed the right direction, as you said.
Exactly.
Thanks, Matt.